It's tight end day for the big SEC guys. This is going to be a quick, fun episode. We've got 3 or 4 of our top tight ends in the SEC to watch in 2025. We've each got an honorable mention. Looking forward to talking tight ends, Joe. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I prefer my tight end to do mostly blocking, but I also prefer him to be my leading receiver on the team if I could draw up
Love it.
an offense. So
Love it.
excited to talk about this great hybrid position that we have.
Nice. Josh Simon, South Carolina, led the team in receptions and yards as a tight end last year. Very cool. Yeah, folks, I did play football in middle school. I was probably 120 pounds and played tight end. It was not a fun watch, difficult watch. I don't think this tapes exist, thankfully. Didn't my potential, limited potential, Joe, limited potential at the tight end
But
position.
but let's lead in. Let's lead in. You played in Savannah, honorable mention guy, hometown hero here.
Yes. Yeah, we are both in Savannah, Georgia. You're probably not a good best practice to give your location out on YouTube, but we are both here in Savannah, Georgia. And my honorable mention is a Savannah, Georgia guy. Grew up, honestly, right down the road from where we did. Went to Calvary, one of the private schools here in Savannah that's really good at football. And that is my guy, honorable mention, my guy, Michael Smith at South Carolina. 6'5", 250, can run, was running like 4.55 electronically timed at our pro day, which is so fast for 250 pounds. That is absolutely flying. Played in every game last year as a true freshman, started some games, was solid, was on the all SEC, all freshman team. They didn't have crazy stats, Joe, because we had Josh Simon at tight end who was getting all of the targets and catches. Pretty much all of our plays were designed for him. So Michael Smith wasn't getting a ton of rub in terms of target share, but you could see him making an impact blocking on the perimeter. You could see him making an impact when he got the ball in his hands. He's kind of hurt right now, but he's going to be healthy for the start of the season. And South Carolina's new offensive coordinator, you know him well, Mike Shula, loves the tight ends, absolutely loves the tight ends. And Michael Smith's his guy. So shout out Savannah guy, Mike Smith, my honorable mention.
Yeah, that's
Great
great.
lead.
That's great. I'm gonna save my honorable mention for the end, but I did wanna give you the lead in there. As a
Nice. Thank you.
Gamecock and a fellow Savannian there, we had to give some love. I'll start with number 3, Oscar Delp from Georgia. Um,
Nice. He's my two.
he's gonna continue to progress. I'm not sure we'll ever see another Brock Bowers in the SEC, but Oscar Delp is a very capable tight end. He's gonna be a good security blanket, for Gunner this year. Expect him to be involved in the offense heavily, and, he's got sure hands. I mean, he's got sure hands and can block, and, I mean, he's everything you want in a tight end. And Georgia, traditionally, not just in the Kirby area, you can go all the way back, all through the early 2000s, with Mark Richt, all the way back into the Donning years. They have a long history of great tight ends. Um,
Oh, yeah.
and I expect Delp to have a great season.
Yeah, Georgia always has a great tight end, and Oscar Delp could be the next great tight end for Georgia.
Mhm.
Joe, my only question with Oscar Delp, he's the number 1 tight end recruit in the 2022 class. He's very clearly can play. He's just behind Brock Bowers, so of course you're not gonna get a lot of targets because Brock Bowers is, in my opinion, the best tight end to ever play college football. So it's hard to get touches when you're going up against that guy, but he's not getting a lot of target share. He's not getting a lot of action. So I know he's gonna get his chance this year, and he's gonna be Gunner's security blanket.
How much of that was whatever funk Georgia had going on with their passing game last year? I
Yeah.
mean,
Is this
it
another
should have
is this
been
another
it should have
is
been
this a back
so
issue?
easy, right?
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know. It's
Like last year, why
Georgia's
doesn't he break out last year is my question.
Yeah, Georgia's offense to me this year is gonna be so intriguing. It's probably gonna be the difference between them continuing to be dominant, make the playoff, or slip to 9-3, 8-4. And
Yeah.
definitely not calling for that to happen, but the offense is gonna be the issue. The offense is gonna be the issue. Can they consistently move the ball, keep the other team off the field, and fix whatever that funk they had in the passing game last year because they've got to have it.
And it was drop city for Georgia last year. I think they led the SEC in drops, which is
It's
wild.
when they weren't dropping it, Carson Beck was throwing it to the wrong jersey. I mean, it was
Exactly right.
funky, funky season at quarterback,
When
and
Beck was actually throwing it to the right team, they were dropping
they were
it,
dropping
and
it.
every other time
So,
it was
you
the
know,
wrong team.
I don't know, Oscar can play, he can play football.
Oh, yeah,
It
football
seems
guy.
to me that it's just a natural fit to have him help boost confidence in not necessarily a young starting quarterback, but by playing time, young starting quarterback.
Yeah, yep. Alright, I'll go to 3, and I'm mad at myself because I forgot about somebody. I'm confident Joe has them, so we'll get to that. I'll go to 3. My 3 is Jack Endries at Texas. Eh, he's boring, but he's good. 650 yards last year. Love a tight end in the Sark offense. You know the Mannings love their tight end, so Arch Manning's gonna he's the safety blanket for Arch. Just a boring, good tight end, Joe. Gets open, gets in the soft spot of the zone, great blocker. What more could you want?
On the
What more could
offensive
you
side of the
want?
ball, you can't go wrong picking somebody in Sark's offense, picking a
No,
position in Sark's offense. So,
no.
it's
Good
gonna
good
have talent
situation too.
any position, and he's going to find ways. One of the best things he does, and I'll actually touch on this too in my pick. There's another play caller in the SEC does the same thing, but they find ways to get you in mismatches. They find ways to get their player who is good at a specific thing against your defender who is not good at that specific thing, and then they just
Oh, yeah,
poke it and poke it. And that's what you're gonna see with that weapon this year.
like it.
Yep.
My 2 is Oscar Delp. Joe, give us your 2. I'm excited about this one.
Luke Haas out of formerly Arkansas was a huge playmaker there, hit the portal. I know Alabama wanted him. I'm pretty sure South Carolina wanted him. Any team that had any needed tight end wanted him. Bama actually brought him in for a visit, and I thought we were gonna get the job done. And he ended up committing to Ole Miss. He is going to be a great piece for Simmons to throw the ball to. He's going to make a lot of plays, very sure handed. Y'all know how high I am on Simmons. I think by the end of the year, he will be the leading candidate to be the best quarterback in the SEC going into 2026. And Haas is going to be a huge reason why.
That's the guy I forgot about, Joe.
Yeah.
I love Luke Haas. Oh my gosh. Listeners, hop on Google right now and just Luke Haas Google images. You wanna see an SEC tight end? He
He's
looks
good.
like that guy from Stranger Things. Do you watch
I
Stranger
swear
Things?
I remember when we were trying to recruit him out of high school too, like, we swung and missed twice. Like, it's like, "Dang it."
Alright, shout out to Haley who just told me she was listening. He looks like Billy from Stranger Things. Just an ideal tight end. Joe, he had that electric two-game stretch last year. I think it was the game against Ole Miss when he was just going crazy. They got absolutely destroyed, but man, he is gonna be so fun to watch in the Lane Kiffin offense.
Lane
And that
Kiffin
guy
does
made
the same thing
and
that I just talked about Sark doing so well. There
yeah,
he's gonna
schemed him
find
open.
ways to get him in a miss all his players, but when you have a weapon as established as Luke, he's gonna find a way to get him into a pro situation for the offense, and he's got a quarterback who can put it in there. So,
Yep. Alright, let's go to 1. I'll
yeah,
start, you finish.
yeah.
Once again, I'm assuming we have the same guy. I hope we have the same guy or else I'm gonna have some concerns. This one was obvious, folks. The best tight end in the SEC goes to, drum roll please, you guessed it, Vanderbilt. That's right, Eli Stowers for me at Vandy. Joe, let me give you a little backstory on Stowers. Four-star, dual threat quarterback recruit.
Yeah,
Fun fact.
yeah.
Goes
Came
to
with
Texas
Pavia
A&M.
from New Mexico State, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, he came with Pop. So he goes to Texas A&M, um, realizes, "Wow, I am not a quarterback." So so figures out, "Okay, maybe I'm a tight end." This guy, similar backstory to Travis Kelce, Joe. I hate to play the Travis Kelce card, but that's good for engagement, good for clicks. Used to be a quarterback, knows what
Hashtag
the
that,
quarterback's
please. We'll
thinking.
probably get some. We'll probably we'll probably
Hashtag Taylor Swift,
get some
hashtag
more
Travis
viewership.
Kelce. All our episodes have like 22 views. This one has 22,000,000. Hashtag Travis Kelce, hashtag Taylor Swift. But he does that. He's the guy that he knows where the quarterback's looking. He knows where Pavia wants to go. He knows how to find space in the zone. He knows how to beat man coverage. I think he had 700 ish yards last year. It was very clear he was Stowers and Pavia, very clear those were the two best players on Vanderbilt's team, and it wasn't particularly close. Um, Preseason first team All SEC, some lists preseason All American. This guy is big, knows how to get open. Love him.
Yeah, I
Anything to
mean,
add, Joe?
I've got nothing negative I can say about him other than he beat Alabama and, was an integral part of that victory. I will say as a positive though, he and Pavia both are 3-0 against Hugh Freeze and, Auburn. So and actually, I think they might be 4-0 against Hugh Freeze. I'm pretty sure New Mexico State beat Liberty before maybe that's where the 3rd win came from. Maybe they've beaten Auburn twice and Hugh Freeze once. I think that might be it. But so for that, glass houses and everything, it would be nice to beat Vanderbilt this year. But at least I can find some humor and smile in Auburn's demise.
I'm laughing, thinking about a joke I'm about to say. It's easy to beat Hugh Freeze when he's out golfing all day. Easy to beat the guy when he's too busy golfing.
I need John Mesh on the phone to explain to me
Love it.
his
All
eternal
out.
optimism with Auburn and how he can be so sold on the Auburn Tigers when his coach is shaving points off his handicap left and right.
Let me tell you, Joe, that private golf club needs to freeze his tee times. Oh boy.
Look
You
out.
saw
This
it in
guy's a
there.
father. This guy's a
Love it.
father.
This guy, I've got 3 under 3, 2 of which are dogs. So a father with some young children. All right. My honorable mention was
Oh, yeah.
Michael Smith.
Uh,
I'm gonna
honorable
steal
mention
Haas.
is gonna come out of Tuscaloosa for me.
Nice.
Cuevas, caught some balls for us last year. Year 2, of DeBoer's offense, Ryan Grubb, definitely a step up in play calling, for us this year. Um, I don't think Cuevas dropped. I think he had one really bad fumble. I can't remember if it was him or Dupree, really bad fumble against Georgia, but other than that, I'm not sure he dropped a pass that was a target to him the rest of the season. Um, and we're short on tight ends. So any tight end targets in Tuscaloosa are going to go to him. Do not be surprised if this guy has 25 catches this year. Wouldn't shock me at all. 25 catches, couple hundred yards, 4 or 5 TDs. Would not be a shock to see some big time moments out of him this year. So that's my
Did
honorable
he
mention.
come
Really sticky hands.
did he come with DeBoer?
He did. He came from Washington with the boy. He was one of that group. I can't remember how many. Well, I think it was 4 of them came.
Nice. I was
Bernard,
thinking.
Cuevas, um, um, Brailsford, and the quarterback. Um, those 4 came, and then a recruit. I believe his name was Noah Carter. Was already committed
Nice.
to Washington, and he came also. So, yeah.
All right. My honorable mention was Michael Smith. Joe, I'm stealing one of yours just because 'cause I'm angry with myself. My tie for 3, Jack Andrews and Luke Haas. I'm giving myself some grace. Luke
Okay.
Haas is in my list for sure. For some reason, I was thinking he went to the NFL, which he clearly didn't because
You
South
can't
Carolina and
this
out there.
this is not the old roster tracking that we had 6, 7 years ago when you could
Oh my gosh,
if you
it's
followed
totally different.
recruiting well enough, then you knew everybody's roster. Now it's this is
Yeah.
near impossible. I'm actually thinking that next year we need to do the team previews, like the team season previews before we compile the list so that we've got I mean, trying to get a handle on all these rosters, it was a booger bear.
Oh, I
Um,
mean, 40% of the roster's churning,
they turn over.
50%
Yep,
every season.
yep,
Just
they turn
churn,
over.
straight churn.
So so anyhow, good lead in there to what have we got up next, Daniel?
Yeah. Good lead in. We're gonna do some team previews. So we're gonna preview all 16, and then we've got some exciting stuff this season. We're gonna do some weekly big game episodes. We're gonna do the big SEC guys versus the AI. That's the number one thing I'm most excited about. We're gonna give you a lot of good information. Joe, anything to add there?
No, no, if anything, I wanna gag you a little bit there and don't be giving away all the juice here here so early in the game,
We
but
can edit it in post.
okay, yeah, send that back to edit. But but team previews coming up. I'm really looking into a deep dive, and they'll still be short episodes. We're talking 15. You can if you're just talking one team, you can keep it to 15, 20 minutes. But deep dive in there, who are the key players that came back, the key coaches that are either new or coming back, and what the and getting into how it's going to play out with the schedule. What needs to happen for a best and a worst case scenario to play out and really see as we start getting in, once we start getting 6, 7 teams in here, these schedules are going to start looking, they're going to start looking pretty daunting when you're trying to break down. How are I think you said on a previous episode we've got 6 teams that could did you say make the playoff or win a national title? I think you said win a national title.
I have, and we'll
Pretty
share
bold.
this later. I have 6 teams in the SEC I think could theoretically win the whole thing, which is kinda wild.
That's pretty bold. I don't know if it's that much. I would say we've probably got 7 or 8 that could make the playoff. I'm not sure if the whole 7 or 8 or 6 even could actually win the title. That I'd probably hold to maybe a 14. However, I mean, it's a deep league. It is a deep league, and we were a young league last year. But when we start getting into these breakdowns of what could be a best case, I think you're going to see some big swings. I mean, I think you're going to see some like where we're sitting here. I look at a team like Texas A&M with the type of schedule that they have. Not spoiler alert, but the type of schedule they have. That is a team that could win 11 games, but it also could win 7. It could be just a repeat, 8-4, 7-5 scene from last year. I mean, some real big upswing potential to downswing potential. So, I'm looking forward to it. Tune in
Oh, yeah.
as we start. Do we have the order? I know I sent you a list. I think we broke it down. Who are we gonna do? Let's see if I can pull this up real quick. Um
I don't remember the order, and I know that's a borderline outrageous take to say 40% of the SEC teams could win the national championship, but Joe, there are 6 teams
Give us to 'em.
I am
Give us give us a tease here.
there are 6 teams I'm in love with. So let's start with the 3 that are kind of obvious, or let's say the 4 that are kind of obvious. Uh, Georgia, Texas, Alabama, LSU. All 4 of those teams could start. This is a really quick tease. All 4 of those teams could win the national championship, right, Joe?
Yeah.
Any debate there? Anything? Any serious concerns? And then my other 2, this is going to be a little bit of a hotter take. Um, I think Texas A&M is gonna be good. I think if Reed gets it right and Elko gets it right, they could win. I could see them with their schedule winning 10 games, making the playoffs, and then being that team you don't wanna face in the playoffs. And I know Homer Dan, but when you have the best player in college football, I think you can win a national championship when he's your quarterback. So that's South Carolina. Um, if Lenora Sellers is
Let's get
as
to the
good as
playoff first there, but
I know,
let's
you gotta get there
get in
first,
the
but
playoff first there, bud.
if Lenora Sellers is as good as I think Lenora Sellers can be, that the ceiling's Cam Newton, and I know that's hard to say because people are like, "Ah, Cam Newton," and I get it. He probably won't be Cam Newton, but if he's Cam Newton, that this team can win a national championship. That's just a fact.
Well, I always say that 2010 Auburn national title just as easily could have been a Mississippi
Oh my
State
gosh.
national title. It's like,
Oh, man.
I will come in here though, as good as those teams, those first 4 teams that you listed are, um, let me just throw this scenario out there that I don't think that's super unrealistic. Texas loses at Ohio State. Texas loses in Athens. Texas loses in the Swamp and is 9-3, missing the SEC championship game, missing the playoff. That's not
That's a rough
outside.
goal.
So when I'm talking about high end to low end, that would be a devastating season to where Sark has taken that program. But I don't think it's unrealistic to say Texas could lose all 3 of those road games,
Oh, you could say
and that's just
you
one.
could make an argument.
Let's
Yeah,
not review the whole schedule of the SEC now that we're all getting all jacked up and excited, but listeners, you gotta come back for these, and I think it'll be nice too because we were a little top heavy. When you're ranking the best of the best, you're gonna end up top heavy echelon. It's gonna be fun
yeah,
for our listeners that maybe aren't, you know, Texas, Bama, South Carolina, Georgia, LSU fans to
sure.
hear us talk about their players too. So tune in. I did find the list. Um, we're starting with Georgia. We're gonna keep it
Nice.
here local, but
Within the state.
a nonpartisan look at Georgia. Considering we live with all these dogs around here, let's just have a naked eye look at it that isn't barking at everybody in sight. Okay.
I like it. I like it. All right, Joe, I'm excited. Those are our tight end rankings plus a little teaser. A little teaser. I'm excited about that.
Sounds great. Sounds great.
Cool.
Have a good
Talk
evening,
soon.
everybody.
See ya.